She's smart and funny and trapped in this situation as much as I am. We're
Zero
both
months is your
trying to
name.
figure out
Consider
what
that
this
one.
means. That's more than a lot of
Probably.
arranged
I mean, if I
marriages
had to
start
guess,
with, Marcus
there it
pointed
is.
out. Earth history is full of
Ooh.
political marriages that
Well,
began with the couple hating each other. At least
maybe.
you're starting with mutual
That's also the
confusion
same
and
time
decent
as the
conversation.
GP
That's a
anniversary
low
event.
bar. Welcome to royalty. All the bars are low because everyone's too busy bowing to notice. The rehearsal ceremony the next day was an exercise in controlled chaos. Liam learned where to stand, how to hold the ceremonial torch, which phrases to speak, and when to speak them. The cultural advisor correcting his pronunciation approximately 40 times per sentence until the words sounded less like he was choking and more like actual High Kyrelian. Asharavel was there, going through her own rehearsal, and they kept catching
Ah,
each other's eyes across the hall and sharing expressions of mutual. This is completely absurd, understanding that somehow made it bearable. During a break, she approached him. Her markings were cycling through nervous purples. My mother spoke with you yesterday, she told me. Before Liam could respond, she continued, I want you to know, I asked her
Wolf
not to push me.
Girly, what's up? How
This
you doing
situation
tonight?
is
Good to
already
see you.
coercive enough without her adding threats. She didn't threat, exactly.
No, I haven't
More
been
like
there.
strongly
Probably
implied that
still will.
disappointing
Well,
her
shit,
beyond
I thought I'd been
biological
there.
Gonna play the new
timescales.
season day one.
I
Liam
guess
smiled,
not.
but she also said some things
That
that made
means I should
sense
hop on
about
D4
courage and
and
calculation and what our cultures value. Made me think. Thinking is dangerous. I've been doing far too much of it. Asharavel's markings shifted to
Gallo
soft
typically runs
gold.
on three
I've been
months, and I
thinking
believe
that
they're
if we're right,
escalating into their
this started as obligation, as law forcing us together. But it doesn't have to stay that way. We could choose to make it something real if we both want to try. Do you want to try? She was quiet for a moment, her markings flickering through several colors before settling on determined silver.
more seasons,
Yes,
more
you were
bows,
strange and reckless
money,
enough to treat ancient tradition like suggestion,
more passes,
which horrifies
cosmetics,
half
all
the
that
court
stuff.
and fascinates me. I want to know what happens if we actually try to make this work, even if we fail spectacularly. The Queen said we'd be an interesting disaster. My mother has always had a gift for understatement. Asharavel held out her hand, palm up, in what Liam's cultural database identified as a Kyrelian gesture of partnership. Shall we try together
Boats,
to be
more
an interesting
hoes.
disaster that
That sucker went by quick.
succeeds at something?
Yeah,
Liam
no,
Yeah.
for it.
her skin was warmer than he expected, her grip firm. Together, but when this goes wrong, we're blaming your mom's legal system. Agreed, though she'll probably find a way to use our failures as teaching moments for the whole sovereignty. But that's terrifying. Welcome to royalty. Everything's terrifying, but the food is excellent and the
Alright,
views are
I put that one on
spectacular.
there.
The final
Got
bit
boats
of
to
the
have
ceremony is a third and final preparation.
Oh, that was it.
Visitors arriving from across
Don't
Kyrelian
lose it.
space, and media coverage that Liam tried very hard to ignore. Apparently, human Kyrelian royal wedding, invoked by ancient firebond law,
Took too
was
much.
news across multiple star systems. His personal message inbox had exploded with interview requests, congratulations from strangers, and a deeply concerning number of marriage proposals from beings who apparently found
What's
full
likely to happen?
situation romantic.
That's
He
pretty
spent the
currency.
evening before the ceremony on one of the
I've got a
palace's
stack of
observation
minutes.
decks,
Oh, it's fucking
watching the
hopping
final
around.
presentation
Jesus
of
Christ.
these patterns
This,
of
I
water.
got a lot of
Asharavel found
not
her
gonna lie.
as he half hoped she would. Nervous, she asked, standing beside him on the rail,
Slow.
absolutely terrified of you, saying, though I'm better at hiding, years of royal training. Her markings were steady silver, which he learned meant she was actively suppressing other
And you
emotions.
not the power.
Liam, tomorrow, when we speak the binding words and light the ceremonial fire, I want you to know it's real for me, not just legal obligation. I'm choosing this, choosing to try with you. But he looked at her, this alien princess who'd been a stranger 4 days ago, and was now about to become his wife. Real for me too, terrifying and weird and completely outside anything I ever imagined, but real. We'll figure it out as we go. Very human approach, very reckless. She smiled, I think I'm starting to understand why you ran into the fire. Sometimes you just have to move forward and trust you'll survive the burn. That's surprisingly poetic for someone who claims Tyrellians don't do metaphor. I'm learning from the best or the worst. The distinction is unclear. She took his hand, her fingers interlacing with his. Thank you for running into the fire, for not running away from this, for giving us a chance. Thank you for being worth running toward. They stood together in comfortable silence, watching the lights on the water. Two people from different worlds about to be bound by an ancient law and modern choice, hoping that somehow, impossibly, it would all work out. The morning of the betrothal ceremony arrived with the subtlety of a systematic alert, which, given the media coverage, it essentially was. Liam woke early, his mind refusing to let him sleep past 500 despite having no idea until the ceremony at noon. Refreshment appeared with breakfast in the formal robes he'd wear, the blue and silver fabric somehow even more elaborate than the version he'd tried on before. You look nervous, honored one, Refreshment observed, laying out the ceremonial garments with practiced care. I'm about to marry a princess I met 4 days ago in front of what I was told by several thousand both physical and broadcast. Nervous is an understatement. Liam poked at his breakfast, some kind of grain porridge that actually tasted decent. Is this normal? Do people usually handle this better? In the 16 years I have served at royal households, there have been 7 formal marriages. You are the first to admit being nervous. The others either hid it better or were truly confident in their arranged matches. Refreshment adjusted the robes, checking alignment with excessive precision.
Another Jade right here.
I have observed you with Princess Asherabble over these past days. The way she looks at you is different from how she looks at others.
I call me
More
Sacred
genuine,
Reservoir
less
Jade Isle.
confident. That is rare for her. Liam wanted to ask more, but there was a knock at the door,
I got a
and
ball
suddenly
here.
the room was filling with attendants,
Sacred ball and
cultural
ball.
advisors, and palace officials all needing to verify something, confirm something, or explain some critical protocol that had been missed. The next several hours blurred into a controlled chaos of preparation that felt more like preparing for battle than a wedding. The reconstructed Grand Hall was magnificent and terrifying in equal measure. The fire damage had been completely repaired. The crystalline walls now reinforced with some kind of adaptive shielding that would prevent a return of the explosion. Ceremonial braziers lined the main
Got the mansion
their
that's
flames
right here
controlled
too.
and contained,
We got
but still
literally a
viscerally
sacred vault
reminded
here.
me running.
iPhone. Sacred
Thousands of seats were filled
Jade
with
Isle
nobles,
and a Dairy
diplomats, military officials, and representatives from dozens of species.
That's insane.
All here to witness this
I can almost fit it all
event.
on the screen.
Liam stood
Like
at the altar,
phone
trying
right
not
here.
to visibly shake, wearing robes that
Like
felt
almost
too
all of
formal
it
and
fits
too
on the
heavy.
screen.
Beside him stood the officiating priest, an
Two
ancient
vaults.
Tyrellian
Sorry,
whose
I
white
missed
markings
one.
indicated a lifetime of spiritual service. Belmont was nearby, ready to provide emergency profound assistance if Liam forgot his lines, which seemed increasingly likely as his
And
brain
fit it
became
out.
stacked.
And I knew it.
The
I got a
ceremonial
tower here, so I can bring
instruments that
product
resonated
all
with
of this up
Liam
right
could feel
now.
in his chest. The crowd rose as one, turning toward the main entrance, and Princess Asherabble entered. She wore white and silver, robes that seemed to capture and redirect light with every movement. Her bioluminescent markings glowing bright enough to be visible from across the massive hall. Her hair was arranged in some elaborate style that incorporated crystalline ornaments that chimed softly as she walked. She moved with perfect grace, every step timed to the music, her expression serene and regal. But when her eyes met his, her markings flashed gold for just a moment, visible to everyone. And Liam saw past the formal mask to the woman underneath. She was just as nervous as he was, just as terrified, just as committed to making this work. She reached the altar and took her place beside him. Up close, he could see her hands trembling slightly despite her controlled expression. Without thinking about protocol or
Hey,
propriety,
man.
he reached over and took her hand. Her fingers gripped his immediately, holding on like he was an anchor in stormy seas. The priest began speaking in High Kyrelian, the words ancient and formal, explaining the fire bond and its sacred significance. Liam's
Yeah,
translator
we've
provided a
generating
running
charges left and
interpretation.
right now.
Courage witnessed, life debt acknowledged, spiritual connection recognized, binding declared. The priest called for the ceremonial torches. Attendants brought forward 2 torches, their flames steady in the controlled
Hop
environment.
this tower right.
Liam took one, Asherabel took the other. They
Got
practiced
the
this
bridge,
yesterday,
so
knew
bird,
exactly
yeah.
what to do,
Not the
but somehow
fleet bird,
doing
the
it for
flying
real,
bird.
in front of thousands of witnesses,
That was
made
more
it
of a
feel entirely
range.
different. The priest spoke the ritual
Zombie
words,
dove.
and Liam repeated his part in carefully practiced High Kyrelian. By fire I came to you, through flames I saved you, in courage we are bound. Asherabel
Hey,
responded, her voice steady despite her trembling hands. By fire you found me, through flames you knew me, in gratitude we are joined. Together they touched their torches to the central brazier. The flames caught, rose high, and the entire hall seemed to
I
hold
didn't
its
ask
breath.
for this.
In Kyrelian tradition, the way the fire burned indicated the strength of the bond. A weak flame meant a binding of obligation only. A strong, steady flame meant true.
And an abyssal death.
The fire.
Okay.
Come back to life. You die again.
Let me try something now. What now? Just this late at night.